Merry Christmas! Today I'm going to take you along and show you how we're decorating our home for Christmas this season. Now my approach this year is vastly different than it was the past 5 years. It doesn't mean that I'm using all new decorations or anything like that. What it means is that my mindset has changed. I have a different view and a different thought process about it than I did for the past 5 years, and I'll explain to you why, but I'm just so glad that you're here. Let's get started on decorating. But real quick, before we get started, welcome to my channel. My name is Leigh here at Little by Little Homeschool. I share all about homeschool, and this was a requested video from over on Instagram. If you don't follow me there, I will drop that link for that down in the description below. But a lot of you wanted to see how we were decorating for Christmas this year. I also have a lot of other YouTube videos about Christmas, Advent, different traditions, and how homeschool even during the Christmas season, and I will drop those down in the description below. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, but let's get started on decorating for Christmas. The first thing I needed to do was to gather our Christmas decorations, and we have this amazing place to be able to store those just inside my husband's office. A few years ago, I stopped using a Christmas tree skirt and started using a blanket around the bottom because that's just what everybody was doing. And this year I decided I'm not going to do that because we enjoy, I would just take a blanket that we would normally just use during the winter and cuddle up on the couch. So I've decided I'm not gonna do that this year, and I've been looking through all of my stuff and I can't find my Christmas tree skirt, so I think I probably donated it at some point. Maybe it's still in here, I gotta dig a little bit deeper, but, so anyway, I'm not sure if I have to go out and buy a new Christmas tree skirt or just an extra blanket that I can wrap around the Christmas tree. Next step was getting our space ready for the Christmas tree. We always put it here in this corner, and I needed to move some furniture around to make space. A fun Christmas family project is a Christmas puzzle. I just dump the pieces out and everyone kind of works on it when they have time. We had a little reality check with life with older teens when I realized that there was only 1 hour in the beginning of December that everyone was available to actually get a Christmas tree. So we ran out that day and got one.
It's got pine cones on it.
That's cute. It's probably for the squirrels that live in it.
Oh. Dixie would like that.
I think it's big.
Ta-da! See, Dad?
No, no. This is a better house. That we'll just cut off the distance like that. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, hold on. Oh boy.
All right.
Shake it out. Make sure you get all the needles out of it.
I'm getting all the bugs off of it. It'll look like it's tied down, and as soon as he speeds up, no more tree.
And then we're gonna come back and get the biggest tree here.
In our home, everyone has certain jobs that they do when it comes to the Christmas tree. James carries it in, and then I proceed to do the fluffing of it. And then it's my job to start putting the Christmas lights on. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know there's some fancy videos out there showing you all how to do it, and I really don't pay attention to any of them. I just kind of string some on the outside, shove some on the inside, but there was some drama when it came to the lights this year. James tried his hardest to get them to work. I think he changed fuses, he changed different light bulbs, but they just weren't going to work. So I ended up just using whatever lights we had that evening, and it just got to be late and everybody was tired after being away for Thanksgiving weekend. So we just kind of went to bed and decided we'd finish it up the next day. I picked up some new lights, but they didn't match the other ones and they just looked awful. So I returned them and pulled together any lights that I had just from around the house. Instead of putting them on mantles, I decided just to use them for the Christmas trees because I couldn't find anything that I liked in any of my local stores. After the little white lights, I've started to add some of those bigger, bold Christmas lights just in white, and it makes the tree so much brighter and it's so much fun. And I just kind of place them a little bit more towards the edge and then push them into the middle, and it just has given it a neat look. We store each of our ornaments in shoe boxes, and this evening my youngest had time to hang his up on the tree. The rest of the decorating is something that I usually just do alone. But the first thing I needed to do was to remove all of the random decorations that two of my kiddos put up to kind of decorate for Christmas in their funny way. After the Christmas tree, the first thing I usually decorate is our mantle. I'll gather together greenery. One thing I like to do is to layer it to give it more depth and give it more height and give it more dimension as well, just to add some interest to it. I mentioned earlier that my approach when it comes to Christmas decorating is different this year. That's because for the past 5 or 6 Christmases, I've had a home decor DIY blog, and while I absolutely loved it, there's a lot of pressure on bloggers to make their home look basically to be Instagram blog worthy, Pinterest worthy, and it was just a lot of pressure. And although I try not to fall into the trap of trends because that's not really who I am at my core, it still was just a lot of pressure to make everything look perfect and for pictures and everything. And so this Christmas, I am not putting out any type of blog post or anything when it comes to Christmas. This is really all everybody will see from it is this YouTube video. And so my approach is different in the fact that my mindset, I just didn't care this time. I mean, I cared because I want my home to feel welcoming and inviting and my family to enjoy being in it and others as well. But I'm not putting that pressure on it myself for it to look perfect. And I'm just doing whatever I want to do basically. And it feels just so absolutely freeing. Reality check number 2 when it comes to having older teens is that it took them a couple of days to actually have time between their different jobs to hang up their Christmas ornaments. Even though I don't have little ones anymore, I still keep some of our favorite Christmas books and I put them out on display in hopes that we'll have little ones over who will want to read them. One benefit of being a blogger is having leftover decorations and supplies from different paid promotions, and this was one of them. So I just had these printed last year over at Staples and hung them up with some magnetic frames, just adds a little bit of something onto the wall that otherwise is empty. I decided this Christmas that I wasn't going to purchase anything new when it came to decor for Christmas. And our coffee table just kind of ended up, I was digging around inside our different Christmas bins, just finding whatever was left over, and I figured I would try some different things and basically just see what we end up with. Our house is old, so the layout was a little bit odd, but we do have another small coffee table in front of a love seat, and I decided to decorate a little bit by just placing some glass ornaments in a bowl. Let's head into the dining room now. I have some old wooden folding chairs hanging on the wall and decided to dress them up. These hoop Christmas wreaths I did last year, again for another DIY project, and I hung them in the living room and decided to keep them and repurpose them and hang them here in our dining room. These little string lights are the same type that I put on our mantle, and they are set to a timer and will turn on around 5 p.m. and they turn off on their own around 11 p.m. I always like to add a little bit of greenery to our Advent candles. If you want more information about how we celebrate Advent, I'll drop that link in the description below. I never did find that Christmas tree skirt and just had to use one of the blankets that we have. To be honest, I didn't know if he outgrew the train around the tree, but he asked for it and set it up, and I am definitely happy with that. Now that everything's decorated, let's take a little tour. I didn't share the decorating in our kitchen, and all I did was put a garland and some bells above our window. I had run out of lights because I used all my lights on the Christmas tree, but sometimes I like to put that around the window. It just adds a nice little glow, but this is definitely enough, and I'm sticking with my not buying anything new for Christmas. And it definitely would not be a Christmas tour if I didn't share it in the evening, just set by the glow of the Christmas tree. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. But I wish to you and your family the merriest of Christmases.